tried to start this video so many times. I've had a slight change of scenery. For the next couple months, we're gonna be living with my family, so my parents and my youngest sister. I'm loving it. I think my mom and I are on game 26 of Yahtzee. Bo is a little unsure. They have a lot of cats, so there is some adjustment going on, but I'm hoping after a couple days that they'll all be really good friends. We'll see. But the camera and lights, it's a lot of excitement for cats. So I want to power through because cooking on a budget is something I was working on before, and it's gotten even more important as I try to stretch the budget a little bit and make less frequent trips to the grocery store. So these are going to be 5 ways that I'm learning to cook on a budget and some of the resources that I found to be really helpful. And while I talk to you, I'm actually making banana muffins, either for snacks or breakfast, I'm not sure yet. This recipe is from Workweek Lunch, which was recommended to me by a viewer on the How to Save Money on Food video. And the woman who runs the website, she posted something on Instagram the other day that I've been thinking about a lot. How saving money on food really works. Plan meals based on what you have, buy what you need, cook and store food properly, then eat what you cook. And it sounds so easy when I say it like that, but this is something that I've really struggled with. So the first way I'm learning to cook on a budget is to shop at home before I even leave the house for the grocery store. I went through everything my mom had in her pantry, everything I brought with me, and I made a big list. And I mean, there was some good stuff on it, but also she has a random amount of garbanzo beans and little boxes of Jell-O, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna be able to do with that. But at least now I know everything that we have to work with, and I can search for different recipes based on what ingredients we already have. Next, I'm relying on staples. I will be the first to admit I love a prepackaged snack, but that can get very expensive very quickly, and snacks are also the thing I'm most likely to impulse purchase. So the last time I went to the grocery store, I stuck with staples like potatoes, zucchini, ginger, apples, peanut butter, broccoli. And there is a Facebook group I love. I think now she has a website and an Instagram, but her name is Apocalyptic Cooking. It is so good. She breaks down how to take a certain ingredient, like something as simple as broccoli, and all the different ways you can make it and how you can use every last bit of the ingredients so you're not wasting anything at all. This last week has felt a little unsettling. Jeremy's travel schedule is completely up in the air, and at least in Virginia, they've canceled school for the rest of the school year. So I've been reminded of the importance of comfort food. And I think even if you're trying to stay cooking on a budget, that comfort food can still be a part of it. For me, I love grilled cheese. That is like my go-to. My parents have this chili recipe that they love to make, and my mom makes it in this huge pot, and then they eat it for the next few days. Growing up, she would also make these haystack cookies with chocolate chips and butterscotch and chow mein noodles. We wanted to make them the other day when I went to the store, but they were completely sold out. My mom said when we were growing up, sometimes she would sneak in this fiber cereal instead of the noodles. So that's what we ended up doing, and they are really good. And it's just a nice memory to have to remember back to childhood, and comfort food is wonderful because it can bring that sense of well-being. I'm also trying to get creative and try new things. In my last video, I mentioned the Budget Bytes honey wheat sandwich bread. I don't think that's something I would have ever tried if I hadn't been working on my food budget. And I'm so glad we did because it's delicious, and I think it's gonna be one of our go-to recipes. You could also try a grocery challenge. How long can you go without going to the store? Use up everything in your pantry, go through everything in the freezer. I've also seen people doing the chop challenge where you take random ingredients and try to make whatever you can make with them. In my heart of hearts, I am a rule follower, and I fall into the trap if I don't have exactly the ingredients as it's listed in a recipe, I think I can't make it. And I know that's not true, but I don't have a ton of confidence in the kitchen, especially with substitutions. And I wanted to say thank you so much to Alice, who left a comment. I think it was on the 5 books that have changed my life video, and she recommended 2. The one I wanted to say specifically today is the Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat book. And from my understanding, it basically teaches you some of the concepts behind cooking and what it takes to make a dish taste really good. So I'm challenging myself to read that book and try out some of my hopefully new skills, and I'll let you know how it goes. The last thing I wanted to mention today is meal prepping. Not a big meal prepper. I've tried it in the past and I've never been consistent with it, but in the effort of using up everything, I don't want any of these ingredients I bought going bad sitting on the counter or forgotten in a drawer or in the pantry. I'm going to set aside some time today and meal prep. I'm gonna start with the sweet potatoes. I think I'll also do the broccoli and use the ginger to make a marinade. I'm trying to change my attitude, and instead of thinking this is taking forever, maybe I put on a show I like or FaceTime a friend I haven't seen in a couple weeks. Another one of my sisters, her hobby is decorating sugar cookies. I do not know how she has the artistic ability or dexterity to do it, but I am always impressed. And her son knows when mom is making the sugar cookies, that is her cookie and podcast time, so she needs a little bit of alone time. So you can use the meal prep for whatever you need it for, a little bit of human interaction or a little bit of peace and quiet. I'm gonna go ahead and get these muffins in the oven. Thank you so much for watching. Again, there will be tons of links in the description box, and I'll talk to you again very soon.